joining me on another video on FernCrafts, and today we're going to be looking at one of my orchids from the collection, and this one is called, it's a Stanopea Inodora, and I've had this for a few months now. It's one that I bought quite recently, I believe at the end of spring or maybe early summer. And this is what the flowers look like. I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah. So I've just made little labels for them, for all my plants, just so that they, I can look forward to the flowers and know what they'll look like. And yes, I'm just going to stick that in there. And I wanted to show you that the last time when I showed you this plant, this was one of the older leaves, and so was this. So since then I've had two new leaves. What was starting off as a growth, I wasn't sure whether it was a root or I was thinking maybe a spike, because at the time I didn't know a lot about the plant. But it turned out to be leaves. So it's this one here and this one here, and they have these tiny bulbs that are quite plump, I would say, but they're still small, and I would assume that they grow a little bigger as the plant grows. It's a sort of a young plant, not old enough to bloom as yet. This is the pot that it came in, and I was told when I purchased it to leave it in this pot until it's really grown a lot of leaves and strong root structure. It does have some nice roots in the inside of the pot, but let me just take this label out a second here and show you that there are new roots coming in as well. So yeah, it's looking good. There's some new roots there, and this moss that's on the top, it's just like a cover, really. It's been potted in sphagnum moss, but there's quite a lot of root activity going on there, and that's a good thing. That means the plant's doing well. So I'm really happy with this plant, and I'm happy that it is being acclimatized to the climate here, to the home environment, and it is doing well. But just to give you a little background about Stanopeas, on the internet for different videos that people would have done when I was trying to learn a little bit about this plant, and there wasn't a lot of information. A lot of people showing off their Stanopea Inodoras, or just how the flowers come through and all that, but not a lot of information on it. So I hope this video will be helpful to somebody, because if you have a Stanopea, you want to know how to care for it. So just a little bit about it. Stanopeas, they're native to South America, places like Belize, Mexico, and Nicaragua, and they like shade, so shady environments, but especially high humidity. So you always want to water them regularly and never let the medium dry out completely. And they like a cool to warm temperature. So inside of the home, kitchen, even a bathroom, I would say, as long as not too many hot showers are being, it's not too long, I guess. But a kitchen or even a study where there is some air circulation, where it's a little cooler and a little shady. And as far as the potting medium, the Stanopeas do like sphagnum moss, so like this one here, especially for the plant to establish itself, want to keep it in sphagnum moss. And then when you want to repot it, it won't stay in this pot forever. Of course, it'll have to go into a basket, and then it would have to be a medium bark mix, like fir or coconut husks even, to retain some of the moisture. Now, the Inodora itself, the flowers are very fragrant, and that's what they're known for. Although the name Inodora means that there is no smell, but the flowers are fragrant, ironically. And they bloom in spring and summer. So I would say like once a year or twice a year maybe. And when they do bloom, you get about 10 flowers per inflorescence. And the flowers are thick in substance, but unfortunately don't last long like other orchids. They only last for about 5 to 10 days, or 5 to 7 days, I should say. And the one thing it's very different with the Stanopeas is that the inflorescence come pushed through from the bottom of the plant. So it's quite interesting to see all of the leaves and the roots hanging out. And then from the bottom is where the flowers come out. And they're really stunning flowers like I showed you here. This picture doesn't do it justice, but if you can get an idea of it, the basket with its leaves and then the flowers coming out to the bottom. So that's why you need to have it when I will be repotting it once the plant is established, and at that point I will need to plant it into repot it into a basket to allow for the flowers to break through from the bottom. And because it's in a basket and it doesn't like to dry out completely, you want to put in sphagnum moss, you want to put in coconut husks, or coconut bark, what do you call it, coconut fiber, maybe to retain the moisture, as well as your medium bark mix. So that's the little blurb about Inodoras, or Stanopea Inodoras. I hope this was helpful to somebody, and if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe. You'll be the first to know when I upload a video. And do share it with somebody you think might like to know as well. And feel free to post your comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And even to if you have any questions, or if you have suggestions as to how to look after these Stanopeas, or anything about them really, do post your comments below. So thanks for watching, and until next time, happy gardening.